to get us started. Get us started, so if everybody will mute, please.
Ron, we can't hear nothing, Ron.
Okay, well, we'll try to work on that for next week. All righty. That's the one FUPA for tonight. I'm sure there might be another one, so hang on. Let me open up the screen. Okay, what I'd like to do now is if we could take a moment of silence and pray for the McFarland family. Silently for about a minute, please. All righty, thank you. Well wishes to Ash and his family and some prayers. Appreciate that. All righty, let's get going. I'd like to first start with introducing my co-host, Miss Lynn.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Is there a echo?
No.
Okay, good. I
Is
hear
there?
an echo, but no
Oh,
one
let me
else
mute.
hears it. That's okay. I think that's better. Thank you all for joining us today. We are here to be a forum for everyone to communicate. We hope to provide some education to you, as well as some enjoyment and fun. We don't want it to be all serious, you know, so we want you to be able to enjoy when you come here every Friday, and we hope you come every week. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from Hawaii. I moved to Florida a few years ago to retire, but my heart is in Hawaii. My family and friends are still there, of course, but I'm retired. I'm enjoying doing ONPASSIVE on a full-time basis. I started back in 2019, but I was a very passive founder, as some of you may have been as well. It took me a while to realize what ONPASSIVE was about, and the light bulb went on in 2020, mid 2020. And this is when I realized I had wasted a lot of time just not doing anything. And I kind of regret it, but I'm trying to make up for that lost time now. And I do this full time. I share ONPASSIVE with everyone, and I provide support to my team. And I just want to share the good news of ONPASSIVE with everyone, because ONPASSIVE is going to change everyone's life. Anybody who sees what we have and understands the heart of Ash Mafara, they're going to hop on board and they're going to make a difference and make this world a better place. So again, I'm pleased to be here as a co-host. And now we go to Ron Hulbert, who will talk about his background. Thanks, Ron. Go ahead. You got to unmute, Ron. Unmute.
Okay, that's the second one tonight. I'm Ron Hulbert from Orlando, Florida. Pleased to see everybody here with us. I'm a retired law enforcement officer. I started with ONPASSIVE December 14th of 2020, when it was shared to me by a good friend of mine. And it took me a couple hours to see the vision. Watched some videos of Mike Ellis, a lot of videos of Mike Ellis. Watched a lot of videos of Mike Williams, which really started that motor going. So I got involved with ONPASSIVE. I'm happy to be here. I see the vision. I understand the weight, and look forward to the future. So now I'd like to welcome everybody to, oh yeah, third one tonight. Friday Night Live. Hello, everybody. Hello, Lynn. Are you with me still? Okay, that's 3 strikes. That's 3 strikes. We're out. Okay, I had this big welcome plan, you know. I think you even wrote it down, didn't you, Lynn? All righty. First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody here. I'd like to welcome all of the leadership councils, all of our guests. I want to thank Marty DeGarmo for running the background for us, Chris Johnson and Kevin Rutledge for doing the Q&A on the chat. Thank you in advance. Just a couple quick people I see on the screen. Mr. Hollywood Square, Cedric Flowers is with us. Dan Street is with us. Welcome, Dan. Peter Swore, Tony Monk. There's a lot of people here, and we have our special guest at the top of the screen, Dr. Bill Williams from the great state of Georgia, Bulldog country.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lynn.
I was going to say, I see Ken Russo's here also.
Ken Russo, I saw his name. Honored to have you. There is a lot of people, so just know that we welcome you here and we thank you for joining us. It means a lot to us. What I'd like to do now, before any further ado, is get our special guest to come on with us. Dr. Bill, if you'll unmute, please. Dr. Bill Williams is from, is it Swanee, Georgia?
That's right.
One of the world-renowned dentists. He's wrote some books. Okay, does a lot of speeches all over, trains doctors, dentists, and it's a very, very, very good honor to have you with us, Dr. Bill. So we're going to let you take it away and teach us something.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Lynn. It's an honor to be here on Friday Night Live with Lynn and Ron. They are up-and-coming stars in the ONPASSIVE lineup. I tend to look at this like something that I remember from my childhood. Do you remember the cartoon strip Blondie? How many of you know that cartoon strip? And you remember Dagwood? You know what Dagwood's favorite food was? The Dagwood sandwich. The sandwich was piled high with everything in his refrigerator every night. And he would put on the ham, the tomato, the lettuce, the cheese, salami. He would put peanut butter, he would put pimento cheese, he would put everything. It would be stacked high. And that's kind of how this ONPASSIVE webinar thing has developed. We have a whole lot of layers. We have a lot of good stuff to offer. We have a lot of talented speakers. I mean, we've got a dozen of them here on this one page I'm looking at right now. You know, I'm looking at Dan Street. I'm looking at Tony Monk. I'm looking at Chris Johnson. I mean, we just can go round and round with who's here. And they're the leadership council guys, but there's others that are speakers in their own right. They're not on the council yet, but they will be one day. So this is a Dagwood sandwich, layer upon layer of excellence, and it's yummy. And for these guys who are new to ONPASSIVE, you're in for a treat tonight. I'm going to feed you well. I'm going to do something a little different, though. I don't think I need to follow the rules because I don't like rules. I break rules pretty often. And so I'm going to do something totally different from what most of you guys see every night. So you'll appreciate me better because I'll be like the different guy. And I like to be the different guy. So my presentation is not going to be totally the same as you've seen. It's going to be about ONPASSIVE, but I'm going to focus on the power of influence. And I want to work on mindset tonight. And if you are new to ONPASSIVE, you just walked into a firestorm. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be hot. You're going to be hearing things maybe that'll blow your mind. So get ready for that. And let me turn my PowerPoint on and I'll come back to speak as a normal human in about 30 minutes. But right now, we're going to go into the PowerPoint. I need to do my share first, don't I? Yes. Enable me to share.
Marty, can you do that?
You should be able to now. Try it again. Try again, Bill.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. How does that look to you guys? Pretty straight, pretty normal?
Yeah, fantastic. Very
I
good.
like the good-looking guy on the right-hand side.
I don't see me there.
Well, we'll get him back. Where did you go? How about that guy? So thanks for having me on again. The Friday Night Live is pretty new, and I hear it launched last week, so glad to be able to help do the inaugural breakout. And we're going to go over 200, 300 hopefully tonight. Main topic tonight is the power to influence. We are a group of people who have chosen to be influencers. The founders of ONPASSIVE are chosen to influence and help grow the company in the early phases before the launch. So we have a purpose. And so I want to work on the mindset we have as influencers tonight. We have an opportunity and a responsibility to influence others if we truly believe in our cause, our product, our company, our CEO. So we have that opportunity and that responsibility. First thing I want to mention is that we can change the world. We can make a difference. We can follow the vision and the passion of Ash Mafara. And to do that, we need to influence people to look at what we're talking about and dig into it deeper before they'll join us. So the power of the written word is where we'll start, and we'll go through the spoken word, imaging, video recording values, live stream values, and we're going to put these things in place in perspective. For the power of the written word to change all nations, luckily we will comfortably say we're in 210 or more countries. We'll comfortably say we can operate in 108 languages. We'll have translation abilities. We go even into the hearing impaired and the visually impaired communities and work to bring the message to them. So we're trying in all ways to meet and reach all people. The power of influence for the written word starts right here at home. You know, what I'm doing, what you're doing. So we put things into social media such as Facebook. This is a recent post I put up, which was about lamenting not joining as soon as we heard about it. We might have lagged behind and thought about it too long and then joined. And this particular article I put up on Facebook talks about being behind the 8 ball by not getting in soon enough. But the good news is no matter when you get in, you still win. But a lot of people lament, I wish I'd gotten in 2018. But you can still make up the time because Ash has promised that there's a way for everybody to win. I got involved about 1.5 years ago, and this last summer I started putting up a few different types of visual aids to support my talk. And so I used a neon light board that drew some attention, and that attention turned into 22,000 views of just this particular video on YouTube, but it also turned into 75,000 views with a little help from Ash, because he picked it as one of the ones he would promote. And so Ash was using a vehicle, a video with a written message to promote to the world about ONPASSIVE, about what our paradigm shift was and how we would approach the world with new products and new services. Peter Stone, a friend of mine, says, sculpting your words is sculpting your life. So if you sculpt your words properly, you'll actually sculpt your life and form your life as you want it. So be careful what you write, or maybe be more bold in what you write, because if you want a bold, beautiful life, you'll sculpt it in words, you create that. You know, it's often said that whatever you put to verbal into the universe will come back as reality. So I believe that the power of the written word, the power of the spoken word are very true and meaningful. The power to influence with the written word comes right out of the newspaper. You know, we see this all around the world now that ONPASSIVE is on the verge of launching, and we're going to have one of the biggest media storms that's ever been seen as soon as we actually go into the full launch. Of course, the most powerful, the most motivational, informed, and accurate speaker we have is our beloved and most loved CEO, Ash Mafarth. And when he speaks, everybody listens. You know, E.F. Hutton used to get just the attention of the financial crowd. Ash gets the attention of everybody in the world when he speaks. And we're all hopeful that he'll show up anytime on any webinar that we're on, because he brings the truth to us. So he has many quotes, he has many sayings that people follow. And one thing he says that people should take heed. Not anyone can be a founder. We need to be above average as founders. So just as the U.S. Army used to have a slogan, we're looking for a few good men. Well, Ash is looking for a few good men or women to be founders. And so our standards should be high. Our standards should be people who can influence, people who can make a difference in the world, because it's the people who are the leaders of ONPASSIVE who will initiate this change that Ash is so desirous of. Another quote he has is, I can't change the whole world, but I can change someone's world. So it's one person at a time, changing one heart, one life, one marriage, one city, one country at a time. And he's doing a great job bringing that to fruition right now. And there's others. I mean, Ash is not the only speaker. Marty, Dan, Mike, Red, Charles, Marina, Susie, all the people that speak every day around the world are influencing others. And Marty even talks about the role of the YouTube influencers and how they can be impacted to affect millions of people almost simultaneously with their large database of friends, connections, and whatnot. So we all have people that we look up to. Ash is number one. The leadership council members are probably number two, but there's others who play the game at the highest levels. And I'm reminded of Bill Must, who creates digital content, visual content, and puts it together with other people's ideas and his own ideas. And then he delivers it free to the world, to every one of us. And so he creates tremendous value, just as Ash promises that we will have unlimited value. One of his quotes is, "You'll never find a company that gives as much value as ONPASSIVE." And it's true. You cannot find anybody who gives more to the world. The promise of what ONPASSIVE is to the world is unparalleled by any company that's ever been in existence. So we're thankful for Bill Must and his input. When you put together images, powerful images, it says something, and an image goes far more deeply into the mind than a word on a piece of paper. So we want to use images. And so we want to look at the power of imagery and say, what can we use to get the word across more powerfully? Of course, you put Ash in a picture, people are going to take notice if they know who ONPASSIVE is. You list the books which have the different services and platforms that we're developing, that we're ready to deliver almost this week coming up. And when you look at the robot, it speaks of artificial intelligence. It speaks of robotics and machine learning. And so it's the new high-tech image that we promote. And this is like, we are the Tesla of the world in the online business. And so that is the image that we want to portray. Now, if you listen to another one of Ash's quotes, it's, "We are bigger than you think." And so everyone who's listening is not a member. If you've heard anything about ONPASSIVE, know this: it will be 10, 20, 100 times bigger than you thought. It's probably 10 to 100 times bigger than most founders think. Ash just gets a twinkle in his eye whenever we talk and we see him online on videos. When he talks about what's coming and how big this will be, you know he knows something we don't, and he can't convey it strong enough that this is much bigger, because he knows where we're going to be getting our business from. And I don't think most people understand where it's going to be coming from quite as deeply as he does. Now, the power to influence starts with a word, ONPASSIVE, on the side of a building. And this just happens to be the production facility in Hyderabad, India, where our 400 or 500 different programmers and engineers are based. And so some people need what's called social proof that we exist, that we operate, that we're a real business. And so you can show them a picture and it makes a difference to a certain group of people. They need to have a physical location to know that you're a physical company with real people, with real payroll and real products. So that's important, and you need to use that imagery. What about video recordings? A lot of people will record a session and edit it and then put it up online. And that's what Comfort does quite often. Comfort will record an interview, edit it down to perfection, and then she'll put it up on Facebook. She'll put it up on YouTube, and it'll go in places to reach people and keep them on different venues, not just one, but many, so that people can take advantage of it. And you can send it through Messenger, or you can send links to Telegram, you can send them through WhatsApp. Wherever you want to reach people, you have a recorded webinar. Very important to record and multitask your time. Repurposing is a word that's very important. Repurposing your content is very important in the information technology business. You can't be original and have new stuff every day, but you can repurpose the same stuff very well in different ways. So repurposing should be done, and recording your videos is very useful. Julie and Milo do the same thing. They record, they edit many of their shows. Some of them are live and they put them up live, raw, and exciting. So we have a series of excellent speakers, interviewers, and people who bring us the information and spread it out. So we like that. Of course, one of the originals was Mike Ellis putting up the kind of like the show the plan. You know, how I have to tell you, I was in Amway about 30 years ago, and I learned to show the plan, and I showed it all over the world. And I showed it in Costa Rica, I showed it in Colombia, in Greece, and all over the USA. So I understood the idea behind showing the plan. So when I joined ONPASSIVE, the first person that I saw show the plan for ONPASSIVE's growth and development was Mike Ellis. And he partnered with Marty DeGarmo and Dan Street to really take ONPASSIVE, what I say, on the road with ONPASSIVE Nation. And they have generously given everybody in the world the opportunity to grow behind them. And so I've seen that, and that's been a powerful combination that's been added. And then we continue to add more groups that do the same thing all around the world. Right now, the corporate webinars are given on Tuesdays and Saturdays for the guests, and those are sponsored through the main speakers, which you see here: Marty, Charles Osung, Mike Ellison, Red Redford. So these guys are always there. They'll bring in other people sometimes, Marina, Theory, others that just happen to be available, but we have a whole cadre of speakers, and each one is putting up a little different slant, and I really like the differences that each one brings, because there's always something more powerful when you have a sandwich with 6 ingredients or 12 ingredients like Dagwood, instead of the same old peanut butter and jelly every night. So we're glad to see the variety. Overall, I'd say this: ONPASSIVE is incredible. There is so much to this company. There's so much opportunity for growth as a human being, opportunity for development personally, obviously a lot of income potential, obviously a lot of leadership potential. There's a lot of people out there who've never spoken before who became excellent speakers over the last 2 years. And I think that's a marvelous growth vehicle, just to be a speaker. Nothing will do better for your career than an income generating procedure, because most people who speak earn more than people who don't speak. So consider that as you sit there at your home thinking, should I do something to move forward in a business? There's a power in having memorable memes. A meme is a picture with words. And if you have, like The Incredibles, I was watching the TV or the movie with my kids, my grandkids the other day. I was watching it and I saw The Incredibles and I said, this is an opportunity to say something about ONPASSIVE. I just took the words incredible and thought, okay, ONPASSIVE is incredible, and put those two together. And so a meme is basically a picture with a word on it, telling a story. For this one here, the retirement plan, it's important to grab attention of people online. And so one thing I do often is I put a headline up, and headlines are very important. Almost the most important thing in a written word is the headline, because you got to grab attention and you got to keep people's attention to get to the bottom line, the subheading or the text in the copy. And so I put up a text with this picture, We've got them covered. Thank you ONPASSIVE. And what I'm alluding to is retirement and what you can do in ONPASSIVE to make your retirement be 100% guaranteed, no problem. You know, most people don't have enough in their Social Security and their retirement plan to live at the lifestyle that they are accustomed to. They're going to have to take a cut in lifestyle. And ONPASSIVE is just the opposite. You join ONPASSIVE, your lifestyle will double, triple, or quadruple over what it is now. That's a given. So people need to understand that. And so I wrote that in the text, but I couldn't expect people just to read plain words. You have to keep putting the images out for them to see with a good headline. So that's the reason I put an image plus a headline on a meme. And it works. People read more of what you do, and you'll get thousands of people to see your message. One of the messages that I like to promote is the family legacy and the family dynasty, where you actually get your family involved, get your kids involved in the business of ONPASSIVE, because when they have a position, they will have an income starting the day we launch. And that income will grow over the years. And so I already know that my granddaughter here will not have to worry about college debts, first home debts. She'll have all the advantages of not being in debt. She'll have the advantages of having a large bank account by the time she's 18, 20. She'll probably have a large one by the time she's 10. She's only 6 right now. I think this thing is going to grow fast. And I think she's going to be very happy to know that granddad thought about her on her birthday when she turned 6 years old. A lot of people don't understand, too, the concept of multiple sources of income. It's really easy to grasp the idea that, yeah, I'm a dentist and I can sell books to make a living that I write, and I can teach courses. Yeah, I can do that. And I can, maybe I could even join something like a wellness company and sell some potions and lotions and vitamins. But those things always take work. They always take recruiting if you're selling something. They take marketing if you're trying to, build a practice. So when you look at ONPASSIVE, you look at a whole different aspect of business, because it's the only business that I've ever seen that's done for you, automated, to the point where a position you own is a position that works for you 24/7 and nobody has to maintain it. Nobody on your end. It's maintained fully by the ONPASSIVE team for you. And so we are one penny. If we're talking about the number of founders, we have 806,000 of us right now. We're going to be 1 million very soon. One penny might represent 1 million founders, but there's going to be a lot more people involved when we launch, and that dollar bill will represent 100 million customers within a year or two, probably the first year. But what's really exciting is that the $45 bills represented in this picture represent 4.5 billion internet users, which is our potential customer base. And I would venture to say, with all the 50 products that we have, we'll reach billions of people within 5 years, billions. And so if you understand MSIs, one position is worth X, 2 positions is 2X, 5 positions is 5X. And so I've been promoting multiple positions per person in the families. Start with your family, then talk to your friends, then talk to strangers. You'll have enough people in your group doing it that way to where your financial situation is handled and you don't need more. You're going to have all you need for the rest of your life. Now, the question always come up to is, why do people fit on the fence? Why do they sit and think and they just don't ever get off that fence and move forwards? I guess it's fear. We're going to talk about fear a little while later, but there's a fear of true and not being equitable. People fear of being ripped off. But I tell you what, fear is not a reason to not take the advice of Ashman Farth. And I always told people this, I don't know why more people don't get in. I'm used to people doing what I recommend. As a dentist, I feel like I'm a authority in my field. And I feel like I've been through enough financial wars, seeing it from every angle for the last 70 years. I feel like I've seen enough to recommend things to people that work. And so I'm always amazed that people don't take my advice on joining ONPASSIVE without even a question. But the truth is they don't. And there's got to be reasons for that. And it all boils down to what your mindset was before. If you have a negative mindset, it's hard to change. And so you don't trust people, you don't understand, you always wait and sit on the fence. You wait to see what other people are going to do before you make your mind up. It's kind of like putting your finger up in the wind, feeling which way the wind's blowing, and then you make it a decision. Well, that could cost you a lot in this game. So I would suggest anybody who's ready to make a decision on getting in, do it rapidly rather than wait and think about it. You can always back out later at no risk, but you can't get in after it's started, after it's launched. That's the thing. So that's the power of influence. If you can influence people to move in the right direction, then you will actually be their hero. You will be the one who they thank 2, 3, 5 years from now. And I thank Dr. O'Donnell in Dublin, Ireland, for telling me about ONPASSIVE all the time. She just mentioned it in passing, didn't push on me to get in, but I was curious. And as soon as I saw it, I got involved and said, I'm ready. And I had motivation. You know, my motivation is basically for my children, my grandchildren. I want them to succeed. I feel like I don't need to work. I don't feel like I need to build a big, I don't need to build a storehouse of anything. I think I've got enough, but I want more for my children, and they're just starting out, and I really want more. And so I think that's where a lot of us are, is we really don't need more ourselves. We just want to help our kids. We want to help the people around us. We want to help people all around the world. And that's one of the motivators. And we'll talk about motivation next. I think Ash does a great job of motivating everybody. Here's a definition. Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. It is what causes us to act, whether it's in getting a glass of water to reduce thirst or reading a book to gain knowledge. Motivation involves the biological, emotional, social, and cognitive forces that activate behavior. The key word to me is activate behavior. You have to create activation. People have to understand, then they have to be active to do something if you want to motivate them to move forward to do something. And so we've really got 7 different types of motivation that we'll talk about to finish up tonight. And the first one is achievement. A lot of people are driven to pursue and attain goals. They want to advance in their career. They want to advance towards some goal they set, a program. They like the brownie points. They like the reward system of achievement. And so they feel good when they reach a rank or a position. So that motivates a lot of people. And it can come from meaningful and challenging situations at work. It can become like in a sporting event, they want to win a race. So you can motivate people that way. A lot of people want to be around a company that's very successful. They want to join a company that's going to be the top company. And so people enjoy being in a company that has goals to be #1 in the world. Ash has a great goal of creating the most millionaires of any company in the world. He wants to create 1 million Mother Teresas. That means people who give back to the world. And so 1 million Mother Teresas is who we are. And that would be an achievement that other people aspire to. The next type of motivation is affiliation. People want to belong socially to a group of like-minded people, of people who strive for things that they value. They want to be seeking cooperation and having a what's called an inspiring work environment, because culture is important to those people. And so they're motivated by teamwork and group success. Nothing shows that better than our platform called Oh Bless, which is a way we want to share with the world the profits and the benefits of ONPASSIVE that come to us. We want to share back to the world that which we are given. ONPASSIVE is given to us by Ash Mafarth. You know, we didn't do anything much to earn it. You know, he's basically given it to us because of who he is. And so we are to bless others as we have been blessed. We want to go out and do things that we like to do outside of our normal workday. You know, go on missions, go on trips to build things to help people that don't have much. A water project in Kenya, we drill wells, we build hospitals, we build water silos and store the water. We did a grain silo one time, build some schools. So you might want to go and do something in a foreign country. You might want to go and just do something next door in your neighborhood at the co-op, the food co-op, and set up some kind of a special project for battered women or homeless shelter. You know, anything that you like, it's available. So much need out there. And that's one of the motivators that people have, is to work with a group of like-minded people. The next type of motivation is to seek a level of competence where people enjoy job mastery, taking something that's very technically difficult and becoming the best in that area. Ash is really goal-oriented, and he wants to have the most competent business, the best service, the best everything before it's launched. And so you can see that that's one of his motivators, is to give this disruptive technology using the AI and the machine learning to the world in the products that he has. And he wants to give it to people at a lower price. He likes to overcome obstacles. He likes and takes pride in achieving meaningful and challenging work. He's taken on this gargantuan job, and he's doing a great job of it. So he wants people to be competent, and, you know, he won't release this product group until it's done properly. And that's one of the hallmarks of ONPASSIVE, is it'll be like Lexus quality, Mercedes quality, JD Power, where Radar says ONPASSIVE quality, the highest. Another type of competence is in education and learning and being a great teacher, having the tools to reach students all over the world who want to learn from you. There's a lot of teachers out there who work in places where the students don't care a thing about the teacher. And so teachers want to teach higher level students in many places. Students, on the other hand, want to be taught by better teachers. And so they will seek out the best teachers in ONPASSIVE's Academy in that platform. So this is a very huge opportunity for everyone to rise up, and they're motivated. People are motivated to join ONPASSIVE just because of the teaching capabilities that we're going to offer the world. Now, here's an interesting one, motivation for power. Now, we might think of power in different ways, but I'm thinking of it like this. It's the desire to influence people. Who wants to influence people more than this guy right here, Ash Mafarth, or that guy right there, Dr. Fiona Shaw? See, I see those two as very similar. Dr. Shaw wants to change the way patients and doctors interact. He wants to cut out the middleman, the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies that rake in all the bucks. And he wants to really lower the price of medicine and get rid of the third party. It takes all the, makes it more expensive and limits what the patients can have. And then Ash wants to take and make everybody successful so that none lose, the 97%. And he also wants to give the greatest value in the IT world to all the products that he's creating. And so they want to influence people in a grand way, a global way. And of course, they want to change so that the situations become better for everyone, not just for themselves. They're not that interested in their own wealth. They're interested in sharing the wealth. So these guys are called risk takers. And if you believe in what you say you believe in, then you will be a risk taker. And who's put their money where their mouth is? These guys. So power is a big motivator. That leaders have to be motivated to do these kind of things, to move into the level of leadership. And we have a whole leadership council of 55 or so that have been named leadership council members over the last 2 years, and strong ethical leadership. And if you have that kind of leadership from the top and it flows down and everybody wins. Next kind of motivation is compensation, the incentive. The incentive that people will originally look at ONPASSIVE about is financial. Most people look at financial and go, I want to have a better income. Now, if better income is what they got, that's great. But as soon as you've been in for a while, that doesn't become your primary goal or focus, because Ash has promised us that the finances will take care of themselves. You will win if you're in. You don't have to worry about it. You will be highly compensated. You will be financially set for life as long as you're in. And so we soon find that we start focusing on what will we do with the money once we get in? What will we do that changes our life? And Ash says, if you've got it enough to where you don't need more, what are you going to do with the rest of it? And we focus on what we're going to do with the rest of it. And that's kind of the genesis of OBLESS. That's the genesis of the idea of having projects all around the world to benefit mankind. So that was kind of the biggie for most people to get in. And it soon changes to, what will I do when I have no need to work for somebody else? What will I do? Well, a lot of us want to sit and drink coffee and think and just have a time to rest. Some of us have been around the block a few years and we're ready to retire, but we can't because we don't have enough saved up. A lot of us are tired and burnt out, and we want to stop doing what we have been doing. So we want to stop and smell the coffee, as they say. Whatever your dream retirement looks like, ONPASSIVE can show it to you. So it can be anything you like. It can be on the beach. It can be up in the mountain cabin. It can be working in the charity soup kitchens in the urban area. It can be donating money to your favorite charity in church and just sitting back watching Netflix all day. It could be anything. What it is freedom. And one of the things that I always talk about to dentists is we are tied to the chair with golden handcuffs. A drill in our hand is our only way we make money. And so if we get away from the chair, we're not making money. So we have to stay in there and do something, whether we like it or not. That's our job. And so a lot of dentists get burned out after 20, 30, 40 years of doing that same thing. And so they get used to the lifestyle. They can't stop because they can't make money any other way. And so what we see a lot of dentists is they're burned out in that last 10 years before they retire. So I would say this, ONPASSIVE will set you free from any job you're in. even the high paying jobs. I figure, and I told this to somebody yesterday, I'll make more in ONPASSIVE my first year than I made in dentistry over the last 2 or 3 years. It's the fact that ONPASSIVE will take care of us. People don't decide to do things sometimes unless they're fearful and they want to get rid of the fear. They want to avoid the unpleasant, the outcome that's unpleasant, the outcome that is coming from a fear of lack of enough to retire on, a fear of failure, that the thing won't work, a fear of missing out on the opportunity. A lot of people feel like they don't have any other options and they just have to keep working. And so it's our job as influencers to tell people about the option, this option, and help them escape the prison, escape being locked up in the job they don't like. And so I always look at it as a privilege to tell people that there's an opportunity that they might like to look at, because if it's good enough for me, I feel like it ought to be good enough for you. You know, I just have that feeling that when I speak, people should listen. Just from my lifetime of doing dentistry and telling people the facts and saying, you got to do this so you'll be saving this or avoiding that. And I feel the same way about ONPASSIVE. It is a lifeline to health and success, and you're going to feel better. And there's nothing like it. So in my mind, don't miss the opportunity. The train is about to leave the station. The train is going to slow down for a period of a few weeks, a month before it takes off. So jump aboard before it's on its journey, which we call the launch. And once it's going, you can't get on. Your fear will become real. You won't be able to take advantage of this whole process as a founder if you miss that opportunity. So Ron, Lynn, that's the formal presentation. We've had a little time to put the sandwich together, and you guys can chew on it a while, and we will move into general discussion now. Thank you so much for attending, and I see that not everybody quit and went home. Everybody's still here.
Thank you, Bill. Fantastic.
That was absolutely exceptional. Those are two big words for me. That was awesome, Dr. Bill. We really appreciate it. It was
yeah, it was off the wall.
no, it was great. It was great.
An eye opener.
Yes, it was. It was speechless. It was one of the best presentations that I've seen on a webinar in a long time. So we really appreciate it. Few ground rules now, if you would please. If you would like to speak, please, on the bottom of your screen, raise your hand. Okay. And we'll try to call you in order. Everything is on a positive positive theme on this webinar. Only positive. And I don't see after this presentation how you couldn't be positive. So let's go ahead and start with Mr. James. Go ahead.
Hey, it was an awesome presentation, Bill. You're like Charles' son. You got that the FOMO, as he calls it, FOMO, fear of missing out. So I just wanted, that was awesome, Bill. Awesome. Thanks.
All right, thanks, James. Marty, go ahead.
Yes, that was totally different, Bill. Never seen one quite like that, but I really, really enjoyed it. A lot of people are requesting a recording, so I'll be giving it out to them. Very good job. I really enjoyed it. Very, very good.
All right, Mr.
Thanks,
Tony
Marty.
Monk.
I like to be Dare to be different.
Put him
Hello.
up.
Yeah,
Come on down.
that presentation was very unique, Dr. Bill. I really liked it. It was fantastic. And it was right to the point, you know? I mean, it was so simple for people to understand. I just loved it. You know, I've been in this for a long time, and I've seen all kinds of webinars, and they're all very good. But today's presentation, holy cow, that just blew me away. And you know what? I'm going to ask for a recording of this because I really enjoyed that. And like Marty said, there's a lot of people asking for recordings, which is good. It's awesome. Awesome work. Thank you.
Yes, sir. He knocked it out of the park. Knocked it out of the park, Dr. Bill. Questions? Any questions for Dr. Bill? He's going to be here to answer some for a little bit. So there's no dumb questions. There's no wrong questions. All your questions are right questions. So please take this opportunity to pick Dr. Bill's brain.
Hey, Bill, how are you doing? Lawrence here from Dublin. How are you
Hey,
keeping?
Lawrence.
Hey,
Okay, you know
Lawrence.
what?
Hey, that's my buddy.
How's it going? It's late here. It's 2 a.m., but I thought I'd hop in and have a look at the presentation. Great presentation. And Bill, I've known Bill maybe about 2 years, 3 years now, and he's a visionary. You know, he sees things ahead, basically. A lot of people might know who he is that's on this, but he's a very, very big dentist, and a lot of people follow him around the world. And he sees, when he sees something good, he goes for it, basically. And ONPASSIVE is going to be massive. I'm involved in IT as well. I know about IT, I know about AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. This is going to go big, basically. It's going to be huge. You know. We're involved in building out big, huge solutions, ERP solutions, enterprise resource platforms and all. And there's a lot of good things coming from ONPASSIVE, and a lot of different softwares are coming, you know. So great presentation, Bill. And people, don't miss this opportunity. I'm telling you. So it's up to you now. You can pull the trigger on it, or you can, as I say sometimes to people, you can, and some people mightn't like this, it's time to shit or get off the toilet.
Thank you, Lawrence.
Over and out.
Lawrence is, yeah,
Okay, we see.
Lawrence is one of the
Thank
best
you very
marketing
much.
guys that I've ever run across, and he's one of the few people that I recommend.
Awesome.
We all have our traits. You know what I mean? We know about AI, and we know what's happening with it, and we've known about it for the last 5 years. It's the future. It's all around us, basically.
Yep.
AI is tracking us all the time, from on our smartphones, everything. That's what's happening. So you have an opportunity to get in at the beginning here with this. So as I said, my last quote. That's it.
Thank you, Lawrence, very
No
much.
bother.
Thank you.
Right.
You know, even I saw an ad the other day. I like to fish, and I saw an ad where they was advertising a new program to put on your cell phone. It's run by artificial intelligence to tell you where the fish are on your phone when you're in the lake. And I thought, wow, imagine what ours is going to do. It's going to be unbelievable. Okay, Mr. Dan Street, come on down.
Bill, that was absolutely outstanding. I have a few takeaways from it that are just so different from what we normally hear in a lot of the presentations, and that is emphasizing the relationships that people have and emphasizing how people are growing as founders within ONPASSIVE. I mean, we look at the people that come to every single webinar every day, and they're all over the world, and they're learning so much about this company. And Tony mentioned it, it's unique. This company is so unique, and I don't think a lot of new people really realize how unique it is with all the proprietary products that we have, and they're built from scratch. And Ash has got this vision that, as Bill was saying, We don't know the scope of it. We don't have a clue as to how powerful and the magnitude of this. But one other thing that is that I see and I've been realizing is the relationships that we're building worldwide. It's unbelievable how many people we're meeting all over the world that are becoming founders either under us or we're meeting and developing relationships with, and seeing leaders from all over the world just grow and make presentations like you wouldn't believe. And then seeing Bill's tonight, it was so refreshing. Bill, it was awesome. And I just had to put the 2 cents worth in. And I've been at this a long time. Marty, Mike, and I have been doing this since beginning of 2019, and we've seen the progression of ONPASSIVE. And let me tell you, folks, it's exciting. And it's just good to be here tonight. Thanks.
Hey, thank you, Dan. You're more than welcome to join anytime and say anything you want, because you are a sponsor of one of my positions. So, and let's see. Do we have any guests? Tony, I'll get to you in just a minute, okay? But any guests that want? We've got a few hands up here. I haven't. There's a couple of names I don't recognize. Let's try and see if they're a guest. Jake Fish.
Yes, I'm right here.
Are you a guest, sir?
Yeah, well, I am a founder.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
But Dr. Bill, that was a spectacular presentation. Okay, and I'm not trying to just throw bouquets at you, but it was a way.
Good. You muted yourself, Jake. Unmute.
Hang on. Okay. All right. Going forward, it was an artful presentation. You know, it was open-minded. I've been a professional photographer for over 37 years, and I don't think in a straight line. I think in sort of above and a 360. And when people start using the ONPASSIVE products, there is a lot of very creative people that will be able to expand the product menu. A lot of very smart people, and this is going to be bigger than we ever thought possible. Like, I would like to use ONPASSIVE to help sell my images, turn them to NFT files and to sell them. I mean, I've been published all over the world, but I would really want to have my images hit, get a lot of impact. And I'm a speed skier for Team USA, and I want to be able to make some money to be able to travel in the World Cup. But most of all, I want to help others, because everybody deserves to have food in their bellies, safe home to go to, and a smile on their face. And what Ash Mafara has done and his team has tipped over the 3%. And guess what? There's almost 1 million new sheriffs in town, all of us founders. So that's all I have to say right now.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it.
You're very well. Sure. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Damien, you got your hand up. Damien, unmute yourself.
Ron, I think that's one of our hard of hearing people.
Oh,
Hello?
hello, go ahead.
Yes, good night to everybody, panel and everything. Yes, it was a nice piece of information that I heard from the guy. He talked real lengthy, and it was somewhere precise. I followed up the ONPASSIVE thing quite a while, and just have a few questions. I'm still not really understanding much of it, how this thing works. I mean, it might be slightly, but what can it do for a person like me who's into art? I'm an artist, more into airbrush painting and printing jerseys and that kind of stuff. You know, that's my talent gift I have. So I sell that. I used to have a store in a mall, but I'm not in the mall again. So I'm at home. So I want to know what that this thing could do, and if there any training or anything like that you'll have, or like one-on-one training kind of thing to give me, or to help me get more into understanding this thing and to get a push off very soon or so. I was saying that the launch was supposed to have been quite a while ago, and now as I came out here in the launch, didn't happen yet. So kind of curious at that too. But that's my contribution.
Okay, so you want to know what ONPASSIVE is going to do for you as an artist?
Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Bill, you want to touch that one, or?
Well, that's my main skill.
Okay, all righty. Who wants to respond to that question?
I can respond to that.
Okay, well, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Well, I'll kill two birds with one stone, because I think Jake Fish asked the same question about his art.
Okay.
You'll be able to put your products on the ONPASSIVE platform, and you will also be able to get targeted leads that are looking for what you're selling to your businesses. Okay, and it's going to be completely 100% automated. It's going to run on artificial intelligence. It's going to be behind the scenes running the whole scheme. So yeah, you have nothing to worry about. It's going to locate the people that are looking for exactly what you've got going, what you're selling. So you're in good hands that way. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, but if I have people like in different countries and so on, it would have somebody to train me, to show me how to go about getting things.
Yes, this is nationwide. This is worldwide. So you have we have a market of 4.7 billion people.
Okay.
So I'm sure within that 4.7 billion people, there are a lot of people that are going to be interested in what you have to offer.
And how much is it to join ONPASSIVE?
To join ONPASSIVE is, well, right now we're taking founding members. It's $97. It's a very small fee to pay for what you're going to get in return.
$97 US.
Yes, and I think there's a $5 fee for if you use a credit card.
Okay. I am from down in the West Indies. I'm down in the Caribbean. So
you're in great hands. You're going to be in the best company. I've been doing this, Damon, for 25 years. I've been very successful. I've made multiple seven figures in the old days, back in the 90s. And I can tell you right now that this is the best company you will ever join.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I just have to get back to the person who sent me the link or something.
Get back to the person that introduced you to the webinar, and ask for their link, and their link will take you to the registration page.
Okay.
And
Thanks a lot.
Damien, also when we get going, Marty, correct me if I'm wrong. There will be some kind of a tutorial that'll help you set up what you want, whichever program that you're going to use on the platform.
Okay. Okay.
All righty.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Bill, go ahead. Go ahead, Dr. Bill.
Damon and Jake, you probably might not totally understand the process, but we're talking about your business right now. What you might not understand too is that ONPASSIVE will be a second business beyond that business for you when you're a member. In other words, you're going to have the company building a base under you selling ONPASSIVE products to other people. And so the income that comes from that will take care of the quote starving artist problem. You can have all the sales of your personal art that you can get from ONPASSIVE, but the sales of ONPASSIVE platforms and services, the 50 IT products, will soon dwarf all the money that comes from selling your own product. It's just like for me in my dental practice, my outstrip me what I can produce with two hands. And that's just a matter of leverage. ONPASSIVE leverages our ability to make money without us having to do it ourselves. So enjoy your art. I enjoy my dentistry, but it's not going to be what I have to do to make a living from now on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Good deal. Thank you,
right.
Dr. Bill. Thank you, Damien, for joining us. Hope to see you every
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, thanks for the information.
No, thank you very much. Let's see, Lynn,
Tim
Lynn, you wanna,
Dillon.
go ahead.
Tim Dillon, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello, folks. How's everybody doing tonight? It's another great day in the ONPASSIVE world. Dr. Bill, you mentioned a cartoon. You can see the cartoon on my screen. The Jetsons was a cartoon in the late 60s, early 70s that was set in 2063. We've got 40 years to get there.
Elroy.
Yes, indeed. Oh, good old Elroy. But we've got 40 years to get there. I don't think it's going to take that long. I think we're going to actually see a lot of those things that we saw in that cartoon. Anyway, Dr. Bill, I have to say I have great respect for you. I love to hear you talk. You put your words together so well, and they're so meaningful, as so many others do that come on and talk here. We have gotten the opportunity to join a man with a huge, huge vision. And we're going to get to go on a ride with him. Thank God. It is changing everyone. And the beauty that I see as I watch, Marty knows, Chris knows, a lot of people know, I attend a lot of webinars. And the growth in the year and a half that I've been getting in to these webinars, I have seen so much growth in our founders. The change in attitude, the change in their demeanor, their confidence level has grown immensely. It is so incredible to see the effect and impact of this company, and it hasn't even launched. My goodness. What's it going to be like when it actually does occur? We don't know. We can only do what we can do, and that is get prepared. Reach out to those people who are smarter than us in certain aspects of maybe the financial world, the business world, wherever you want to take it. But reach out to those people, gain their knowledge, use their knowledge to make your ride even better each and every day forward from here. I think there's a great chance for us to make major impact in our local communities, in the world, in our nation, everywhere across the board. I am so excited about what we can do as a family. It is so mind-blowing as to the value that Mr. Ash Mufara has given us. And my goodness, we certainly owe him prayers to get well and get back with us, because he is our leader and he makes us who we are. But we make ourselves who we are as well. This company will be just fine no matter the outcome of what happens. It has been structured in such a way, there's no way it will sink. It won't be the Titanic. That iceberg won't be able to survive on passive. We will blow right through it. We're going to blow right through so many of the obstacles in our way because of the family mentality and the communal attitude that we have on a global level. My goodness, people, grab hold, hang on. It's going to be great. Love y'all.
Thank you for your comments. Yeah, I do think ONPASSIVE is a game changer. We've never seen anything like it, and I don't think we ever will in our lifetimes. So thank you for those comments. Tony, would you like to make some comments? Go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Lynn. And thank you, Ron, both. And congratulations on your webinar. You have over 220 people. That's amazing. Yeah, and I knew you would. I knew, and you're gonna grow even more. I know you guys are. You're just so popular and special to me anyway. I had the day off today and I had to be here. I took the day off. I'm pretty much working on my own terms right now. I retired, for those of you that don't know, in April as a nurse, a registered nurse. And they pretty much begged me to come back to work because they're so short on nurses. So I decided to go back to work for a little while anyway. And but I pretty much called the shots, which is good. So I can take a day off if I want to. I became a founding member in October 5th, 2018 with ONPASSIVE. And boy, have we grown. Back then we had nothing. We didn't have any webinars like this. And we didn't have a back office, old founders back office to go to either. We had nothing. We only had one voice, and that was Ash's voice. And he was so inspiring to listen to. You have to remember, like I said, I've been doing this for 25 years, and I'm not easily influenced. You can't really, sell me on anything that easily. But for some reason, I just, when I was listening to Ash, I knew he was legitimate, authentic. You could just feel his energy, and you can feel it in his voice. One of the best CEOs I've ever encountered, because, I mean, he makes himself transparent. Sometimes he just shows up on webinars. I mean, you don't get people like that at that standard that do things like that. It's amazing. I started back in the old days. I became a healthcare worker for the mentally handicapped, and we were integrating them into group homes, closing the institutions. And so I decided to become a nurse in '93 and got involved with the political part of it. As a registered nurse, became a psych nurse as well. And then I decided to do something completely different. I don't like repetition. It kind of gets boring after a while. And for me, I need new things happening all the time. So I did something completely off the wall and decided to go into internet marketing. There was a company that was building computers, and I decided to go work for this company just to find out how it worked and how to do sales. We were doing sales in homes and selling computers to people that were either lawyers or doctors or dentists or what have you, very professional people that could afford them at the time, because they were going for about $5 grand, 10 grand back in the 90s. So you had to have money to buy them. And so I decided I had I could get half price on the computer. So I bought one, a Windows 98. And if you remember what Windows 98 was like, it was very, very slow and very slow. And so I decided to do a multi-level marketing company with that computer. They had a bullet point presentation that I was doing, and I was on the phone with these people. And sometimes, most of the time, actually, the screen would freeze. So I'm thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say to them? They're on the phone now. I lost my bloody, what I was going to say off the screen here. And so it would pop back on, and I would laugh at these people and they would laugh with me, and built a pretty good sized team and had some people in my team that actually built themselves. So I did pretty good. I made multiple 7 figures within the next 3 or 4 years, and went into trading. I traded for myself in the options market, credit spread trading. I was doing pretty good there as well. So back in 2008, I believe I decided to, I was going to put my money into investments instead. I was tired of trading. So I wanted some companies to take the investment and just give me a certain percentage a year. I was getting about 22% a year on 3.8 million. And in 2008, what happened in 2008, the stock market went into a crash, and all my money went along with it. So I went into a complete bloody depression for a year. I was suicidal, because you have to remember, I went from regs to riches, riches back to regs again. So it was pretty difficult. And then I took a year off and got my shit together. And about a year later, I went back into nursing again, because I still had my degree. But now I'm making $100,000 a year, as opposed to $100,000 plus a month. Right. So that was a big setback for me. So I had to change my reality again. But I had a lot of fun. Let's put it that way. When I had the money, it was for about a 10-year period. I was in my 20s, in my late 20s. So the private jets, I didn't buy a yacht, but I went on private yachts because I had the money to, rent one and bring my friends along and so on. The first private jet we went on was with a couple of friends of mine. We went to Cancun, had a fantastic time at a 5-star resort. But I'm telling you, I spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get to where I was. And here in ONPASSIVE, you all have the opportunity to make what I made and a heck of a lot more for a very small amount. $97, come on. Geez. And then about $250 when we launch, that's peanuts compared to what you're going to make. And you're going to love the lifestyle. You become more of who you are when you make that kind of money. A lot of people say, well, you change when you make that kind of money. You don't change. You just become more of who you are. People around you start changing because it's their insecurities, right? They look at you differently because now you're not at their level, you're at a different level. So there's a lot of insecurities going on all over the place, right? But it's okay. I mean, we're all human at the end of the day. We're here in ONPASSIVE, and this is the place to be. For Damon and Jake Fish, I mean, you guys couldn't be in a better place. These are fantastic people that you have here. We're all family. We stick with each other. We help each other, and we're going to make it big. And even after these webinars, after we launch, we're still going to be doing this because we're going to be bringing in resellers, right? Or we can do these platforms for charities that we enjoy through Obless. I mean, it's going to be fun. This isn't over. This is just the beginning. This is the tip of the iceberg. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Ron, again. I always enjoy being on your webinars.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Do we have
Your
anybody
story.
you see any hands up?
No, but I have something to ask.
Okay, well, you're allowed to. Go
Dr.
ahead.
Bill. Thank you. My turn. Dr. Bill,
I have something to say.
Posted about multiple streams of income within ONPASSIVE. So I wanted you to expound on that because I thought it was a very unique way of looking at ONPASSIVE itself as providing us with multiple streams of income.
Yeah, a lot of people understand you can have 2 businesses, your business and ONPASSIVE, but what they don't often think about is 50 different products in ONPASSIVE, and each one's a separate business. And we'll be getting income from each of those 50 products because they'll be marketed to different interested people in our names all around the globe. So those 50 are uniquely part of the multiple sources of income, right? And then you've got not only your initial position that you bought for yourself. You know, I only bought one for myself when I got started. It didn't dawn on me until a couple of weeks later that there's going to be X number of dollars coming into that position. And if I bought 2 positions, I'd have 2X. If I bought 3, I'd have 3X and 4 and 5 and 10. And if you buy multiple positions, you can maintain them yourself. You can dedicate them to your children, which is my main plan. You can maintain them to charitable organizations, which a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are going to amass a large amount of money and then donate to whoever they want to cash. Instead of giving the position to the charity, they just donate the money to the charity. So both ways will work for the charity. They'll be glad to get either way. The thing about it is, if you start multiplying all these multiple sources together, it's huge. And you get an early dated position from somebody who has one. Most of the leadership council do. Then you would be able to have a lot of overflow and spillover potentially, which is another benefit. You know, Ash has promised us a lot of benefits as founders. And one of them is being in early pays off. And so he wants to fill in every one of the slots, not to be left blank. So he made them available as pending accounts sold to people who want them. And those are to be extra above your normal group you're building. So don't forget about that. And I've got some under Marty and some under Red and some under Michael Williams and others. So you can do the same. All the people that are leadership council people will know exactly what's available.
Yes. I think that when you talk about the different ways we're going to be having income, it's just amazing. It blows my mind. There is nothing close to it on this earth. So we're very fortunate. I would like now to take a thank you. I would like now to go on to a deaf participant. The interpreter's phone number ends with 061. Go ahead and make your comments or ask your question at this time. You're unmuted, interpreter with the phone number 061. You're unmuted. Go ahead and interpret for your deaf person.
Yes, this is the interpreter speaking. Unfortunately, the caller is just currently looking away. I'm trying to get their attention. Just one moment.
All right. What we can do is come back to you. We have someone wanting to ask a question now, and we'll come back to you next. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We have next Cedric Flowers, Mr. Hollywood Squares. He would like to make some comments or ask questions. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I just had a comment. No, Dr. Bill, you know, you blew all the squares open tonight. Just like a dentist, you drilled it. You know? Don't start, Chris. Yes, I don't know how people can't get in this ONPASSIVE, man. To have people like yourself, Marty, Dan, and everyone, so I can know anyone miss getting in this, you know? Forget the squares, just getting in there and meeting people all over the world. Like I say, I call this my laptop is a portable airport, you know, meeting people all over the world. So this is a great thing. And every time I listen to you, Dr. Bill, you know, it enhances it, you know. I know I'm in a great place, you know. Gonna be well, we're gonna have a lot of apples pretty soon. You know, it's good to know that we're gonna be set for life. You know, I can say that and mean it now. You know, I can say a lot of things and mean it. I know a lot of people around the world mean it, you know. So, I'm bringing people in, not many, but I brought some in and know they're gonna be successful. That's just great by itself. And Ash, I'm praying for you and your family. May God watch over you and continue to watch over you. I'm praying for you, man. So I know you're gonna be better. Gotta thank you as always. And this is the best place to be. I mean, you ain't where you gonna go and get a job that's gonna work for you, brand your name, brand you, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Where you gonna get that from? No, people, $97. I ain't talking about the people that can't afford it. If I could do it, I'd buy everyone a position. But the people that can afford it, and I know some, $5, that's all you scared to risk? That's crazy. So just sitting on the fence, just get in. That's all you got to do. You ain't got to do nothing. I tell you all the lazy people, this is the best thing for you. You ain't got to do nothing. Just imagine your job just telling you, stay home. I'll do your job for you for the rest of your life. Where you gonna get that from? So just get in. Like Michael Williams said, is a song. You just share. It's all good. Can't go wrong with this. I'm smiling every day. This is a constant joy. So let me stop babbling. I don't want to do that. So just appreciate you, Dr. Bill. That was great. I asked for a copy for Marty, so that's probably gonna get me a few more people in my team, but that was great. You knocked it out the box. Slam dunk. In it to win it. Love all of y'all. Peace.
Thanks, Cedric. You always bring a smile to my face. You have such enthusiasm and you always speak from the heart. So thank you very much. It looks like our interpreter, 60061, I think, have you gotten your deaf person's attention?
Yes. Can you hear me? Okay,
Yes, we can.
Yes, my name is Eddie, and I'm happy to have the opportunity to be here. And there is someone who is on my upline, on my team, who I'd love to have the opportunity to meet, Elizabeth. But I am hoping to have the chance for more people to join, as people say, before the train leaves the station, and it hasn't left yet. And I just want everyone to be able to understand that this is an opportunity for us to be making a lot of money, a lot of income, and we can be VIPs. And this is the chance. And it's better to do it now than later, because the longer we wait, the smaller the opportunity will be.
Thank you, Eddie. We're glad you made it. I'm so glad you're on tonight. Eddie, you've been an inspiration to me as well. I noticed that you're always active. You seek information. You're not ashamed to ask questions. Being deaf blind, nothing stops you. If a deaf blind person like you can have a large team, what's stopping
I'm
the
just
rest
deaf,
of
not
us?
blind. Just deaf, not blind. But yes, I do have. I do have Usher syndrome. So yes, I guess you could. I do have some sight. It's not. I don't have all of my sight, but I do have some sight. But yes, I guess you could call me. I am part of the deaf blind community. But I do have a bit of vision, and I want the deaf blind and the deaf community to be able to be a part of this as well.
Yes, I'm glad you're part of this webinar. I know I have been trying for a while to get the deaf founders to come onto webinars more. And always the issue is the interpreters, right? Some people don't have access to online interpreters, but I'm glad you do. I know America, we have VRS, so we have tens of thousands of deaf founders in this company, but we just don't see them. But they are a big part of ONPASSIVE, and we are so glad that more and more of them are coming on board and attending webinars and getting the information that they want and they need. So thank you for coming on today, Eddie.
Yes, of course. You're very welcome. My pleasure, and happy to meet you here.
Great. Thank you so much. Next, we have Marty DeGarmo. And before we have him speak, he is the host of this webinar. He is the one that allows us to have this many participants. We are using the corporate Zoom account, and we're grateful to you, Marty, and for your promotion of our webinars, not only our webinar, but other webinars as well. Thank you for the commitment you make. You live a life of webinars, daily webinars in your life, and we do acknowledge that commitment that you made to us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Ash is happy about it too. He doesn't even know how many he's got on here. But sometimes he can't get on. But anyway, I just texted him, told him that Dr. Bill just did a webinar totally different than anybody else and it was unbelievable. He said, fantastic. I said, they had a moment of silence for you. He said, I can feel the love. How could you not feel 800,000 people?
Yes.
So at least he's texting more. He was so sick he didn't even feel like texting. So anyway, he's in good health. He ate well. He's in good shape. So he'll be okay. He'll be fine. Yeah, another thing, that what's the beauty of this, deaf, blind, epilepsy, I don't care what you have or what you think you have, ONPASSIVE doesn't care. It just doesn't care. Old, fat, ugly, goofy, tall, skinny, anybody can do ONPASSIVE. All you gotta do is plug in. You can't get it any easier than that. If Amazon can create 40,000 millionaires and they weren't trying to, what is this company going to do? I mean, you think of one company like Zoom who made 139 billion last year, and somebody said to me about a free product. I said, Zoom's got free product, and they did okay last year. The owner of Zoom had an increase in pay of $2.7 billion in one day, and it happens. The wealth is there. There's enough food for everybody. There's enough water for everybody. There's enough shoes for everybody. There's plenty of wealth out there. We just need to redistribute it to a different group of people. And that's what Ash wants to do. Is he going to change the whole world? Maybe not. But they're going to know, they're going to know he was there. Let's put it that way. And they'll know because there's 1 million people. In my opinion, we launch with 1 million people, which it looks like we will. If you're in it and you're ready to win it, there'll be 1 million millionaires, my opinion. Is it going to happen overnight? No, but it's going to happen. It's too big. He's already got a book full of something. I mean, we know about 20. He has 50, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have 50 in his head. He gets out of this trying to build this thing and get it started and starts doing what he really loves, which is inventing and creating. The world's going to be in trouble. He is one mad scientist. I mean, he's got a lot of ideas. When you go to him and say, this is good and this is good, is there any way to make this happen in between? And he's going to flip out. Yes, there is a way. And that he's that guy. We couldn't ask for anybody better in that position. He's constantly thinking of what is needed. And he pushes the value part. People got to wrap their head around the value. You give people value, you don't need to sell anything. There is no competition to ONPASSIVE. Get it out of your head. We're not competing with anyone. Zoom doesn't have a chance. ClickFunnels does not have a chance. They'll be there. They're doing okay now. They're making millions, but they're arrogant. They don't know in the rearview mirror that dot is ONPASSIVE, and it's coming up fast. All we got to do is give people value and the best you can give. And that's what we're going to do. And we're all part of it. And share this thing because, like Bill said, my whole family's in. And they don't know anything about it, or very little. I don't talk to them about it. And Merry Christmas. Here's your position. I don't need to talk to them about it. This is, because you can build a whole, they'll be millionaires. I think, I was talking with Tony Monk, I think they'll even be billionaires in this company. And it's just bound to happen. But I'm not worried. I don't like money, so I'm going to have somebody take care of that. But I love the idea of not worrying about it and being able to help somebody without even thinking about it. In the grocery store, when that lady runs out of money or her card doesn't have enough and she's embarrassed to pay for hers and everybody behind her, maybe everybody in the store, little kid with no shoes. I mean, there's a lot of little things we can do that'll make an impact because we got a million people doing the same thing. There'll be resellers that come in and get the vision. They may not be founders, but they'll still have the vision because that vision was built one person at a time. And the company I keep saying is unique because we got an owner that runs with his heart and not just with his brains. And he created a million other people the same way. Did he create them? No, they came to him. They were drawn to this company because of, like, everybody's not a founder. Get that in your head. You talk to somebody, you give them the information, tell them what's going on, and they don't get it. That just means goodbye, I'll see you later, because everybody's getting in. Just plant the seed. If the seed is Bill's presentation, drop it in the dirt and walk away. If it's Mike Ellis, if it's anybody, drop it in the dirt and walk away. Put a little water on it and walk away. They're coming back. And they're going to say, oh my God, I remember that. Let me go back to Peter Sir. I think he's the one that told me. Can I be a founder? And you got to go, nope, sorry. But you can be a reseller. So there's no end to this, right? There's no end. So take advantage of it, share it, get people out there. And like Bill said, and many people said, look at the leaders that have been created. That's more fun to me than anything else. Seeing people that 7 months ago were afraid to turn their camera on to now I can't shut them up like Chris Johnson, right? I mean, my God, right? What did we create there? Man, we can't put that back in the box. But anyway, thanks everybody. And we haven't seen nothing yet. I mean that. I mean, at the bottom of my heart, you haven't seen nothing yet. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Marty.
Thanks, Marty. I do agree that, what we think ONPASSIVE is and what it will be, it's a million times more. Maybe you say 10 times more or 100 times more, but in my mind, it's a million times more than any of us can conceive with our human brains. That's how good ONPASSIVE will be. I'd like to acknowledge Wayne Jones. He has his hand raised.
Great. Yeah, it's everybody is a lot of great information, and Bill Williams, that was a phenomenal presentation. Real short is made a lot of money, lost a lot of money. Money isn't everything, but neither is poverty. What this company is going to do for me is what I couldn't do with my kids when I was young, because I was a workaholic. And it's going to buy me time with my older kids again and my young son that I didn't have. So this is massive to me. This isn't a little thing. This is massive. And when I tell people about this and they don't get it, I just don't get how they don't get it. And I didn't learn it overnight. It takes a little while, like you said, plant the seed and watch it grow. It'll definitely grow. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Peter Schur, a Leadership Council member. Thank you for being here. You're up.
Thank you, Lynn. How you doing? How is everybody doing?
Very well.
Very good, Ron. I hope. Thank you for hosting this webinar, and Marty, for your help. Bill Williams, Dr. Bill Williams, thank you so much. You and I are one of the few lucky ones that actually saw Mr. Ash and were able to spend some time with him. A very incredible person, like Wayne just said, and Marty touched on in regarding to, and what you said in your presentation, Dr. Bill Williams, Mr. Ash's dream is to have 1 million Mother Teresas, right? And that's exactly what we all gonna be doing. We're gonna be helping the needy. Just like little things that Marty talked about, somebody in a grocery store, they're just short of paying the bill at the grocery store, we can do that. Or somebody needs like shoes or what have you. My dream is to get rid of all the homelessness around the world, starting in Michigan and spread it around the world. So everybody and every human being deserve to have clean food on their tables and a roof over their heads. And that's what we all gonna be doing. Just think about it this way. if we have just 1 million people, okay, and every founders just contribute like $1 or maybe even $10 a month from their profit. If it's $10, that's $10 million a month going to charities around the world. How much will that help? That's amazing. So think about it this way. Don't just think about how much money you're gonna be making, but also think how you're gonna help the needy and around the world, okay? And good news, and touching base, the same thing what you just said, Marty. I just listened to a message. I didn't see it till now during the webinar about 4 hours ago. One of the leadership council from Middle East with me received a message from Ash, and he told me what he said, that both of his boys are no symptoms and they're very stable, okay? His wife is getting better and he's getting better because like Marty said, he's starting responding to messages. I send him messages, but he don't have to look at every messages. I'm just happy that he actually getting up and responding to messages. That's great, and it's a good sign for everybody to share on. And thank you all for your prayer. I will continue to pray always. We love you, Ash.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. We have next, we're nearing the end of our time, so we want to keep the sharing to maybe 2 minutes. I know it's hard to stick with that, but in order to get everyone in, if you can keep in mind that maybe limit your comments to about 2 minutes. Okay, next up we have Bruce Gerstein.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Marty, for putting this all together. And thank you very much, Dr. Bill. You laid out a beautiful blueprint for success for everybody. And the thing about it is that I understood it like it was a done deal. And you were very clear and very firm about that. I come from a place where my purpose is to plant seeds of hope and solutions to people. And it's the same thing in ONPASSIVE. And I think it's very important to give people hope for what the possibilities are here. And more than anything, be kind, be gracious with people. And know that when everything changes, when I change, and the things that change inside me manifest themselves outside. So all I have to do is have a change of attitude, and that I will see that attitude come towards me too. So anyway, it's an old expression I'll say, and then I'll shut up. It's you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. But you sure can make him thirsty. And ONPASSIVE sure can make a lot of people thirsty. So thank you all for being here. Namaste.
Thank you, Bruce. Oh, by the way, for Nathan, who is deaf, I do see your hand and we have you in the queue. So don't worry, we're getting to you. Next up, we have Dr. TV Zhang. Go ahead and speak. Unmute yourself.
I am so
You need
happy.
to unmute yourself.
Yeah,
Yes,
unmuted.
we can hear. We hear you.
I'm so happy to be a founder. I'm in Cameroon, in Africa, and I want to thank Mr. Ash. Each time he comes up, I see him like a Christ on earth. He inspires. I have a foundation of what we call the Golden Heart. My heart bleeds for the needy around me every day. I make sure I go around, inspire my men to join ONPASSIVE and get them on. I've been very sick of financial compression for the past 5 years. And when I wrote India, you asked about $12 especially. The past 2 years, I had no hope. But when I joined ONPASSIVE last year, I saw myself being healed. I see in the next few months going out to any hospital in the world to pay the bills and get myself with I speak serious in my eye. Especially, I feel so bad when I go around telling people and some tell me stuff. But I make sure every day part of my duty from my people, bring them up, and I see blessings coming. I keep praying for Mr. Charles Osong, Mr. Arnold, who introduced me last year in September. I don't spend an hour without checking on ONPASSIVE, the messages, sharing for my those abroad in my team. I think ONPASSIVE is God's answer to mankind's needs and woes. I see myself being treated as hospital in the world once ONPASSIVE gets lost. Thank you for this great opportunity. Really a wonderful Marty Digamo every day. I sleep. This morning my phone got bad and first because I just felt cut off from ONPASSIVE. I don't just feel like it's 2 a.m. here. I'll not sleep until this session.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate you all the way from Cameroon. That's remarkable. In ONPASSIVE, there are no barriers. We are all one big happy family. Thank you so much. Next, we have Damien. This is Damien. You're up. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, two quick things, two quick things. The presentation tonight, is it possible I could get a recording of that?
I believe it will be, it is being recorded, and I believe Marty will make it available to us.
Damien, if you'll just, I'm sorry,
YouTube.
Lynn.
Oh, go ahead, Ron.
Damien, if you just email Marty DeGarmo at onpassivenation@gmail.com.
PassiveNation@gmail.com.
Yes, sir, and he'll get you a copy.
It's also in the
Okay,
chat. It's also in the chat, Damien.
Okay.
Thank you very
okay.
much.
The next question is, hello?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Damien.
How is this pandemic that we face in the world? Has that any kind of impact, or did it have any thing towards this platform itself that is the ONPASSIVE? Would have any shake up on it or anything like that, or effect on it?
Anybody want to respond to that?
I didn't
Yes,
understand.
we'll have someone respond to you. He's asking how the pandemic is affecting ONPASSIVE's progress. So, I mean, I can answer that. I think that, who wanted to answer, Tony? Was that
That's
you?
okay, Lynn. You go ahead. You go ahead, Lynn. Yeah, you go ahead.
It's not.
I was going to say it's not because, when the pandemic was at its worst, ONPASSIVE staff were able to work out of their homes. And these are digital products that we're creating, so they can work out of their homes. I don't think that the pandemic is going to affect ONPASSIVE very much. That's my opinion. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
You got it. You got it covered, Lynn. It's running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nothing. I don't care if you're a pandemic or a typhoon, you are not going to step in the way of ONPASSIVE. So we're in good hands. Just keep the faith, buddy.
So like digital currency and so on, that has part to play in it have in any way, it have any inputs like that is added something that could be thinking because I know with the digital currency thing going on and so on around this time. Does that fit into with it also, or could it, however, against some people like go that way or something like that?
Marty?
You can purchase to be a founder with Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, I think. But those three cryptocurrencies you can use to purchase your founder position. Cryptocurrency is not part of ONPASSIVE. I'm not saying it won't be in the future, but it's not there right now. I would not be surprised if it was in the future, obviously, but right now it's not. But you can purchase to be a founder using cryptocurrency.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for asking your questions. Next, we have O. Trevor. O. Trevor is next.
Hey, good evening, everybody.
ahead.
Thanks for having me on here. I've got a real short thought for everybody here. Thinking back on impactful moments in history and the amount of people that it took to make that impact, I got to thinking about the attendees of Woodstock back in 1969. There was 400,000, little around 400,000 attendees. And if you think about what impact that had on society, especially the younger crowd back then, and what it did for the music industry in general, a lot of freedom was created through that. And ONPASSIVE just surpassing the 800,000 mark, and it's global. It wasn't in one location here in America. This is global, around the world. Imagine the size of the impact that we're going to make on not only society, but all of humanity in its whole. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. Just a little thought for you.
Thank you, Trevor. We appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. We have got 3 hands up left, and we will end with, I believe it was Nathan. We're going to end with you. So right now we have Maddie from Dade City.
Hey, I wanted to ask Dr. Bill Williams if he knew. I keep getting a question from doctors that do telemedicine about HIPAA compliancy from OConnect, whether OConnect will be HIPAA compliant.
Don't know yet, Marty. I think that HIPAA rules are specific and different, and you have to have actual HIPAA compliant architecture built into your system. I don't know if OConnect will be HIPAA compliant to start with or not. And I wouldn't say that I would venture an answer until I know.
Maddie, did that cover you?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, great. James, did you have your hand up? Got on mute, buddy.
There, sorry about that. Just a thought here to what was said earlier. ONPASSIVE is artificial intelligence. And as far as I'm concerned, that we are immune to any pandemic. So we're always going to be going. It's going to be working all the time. No pandemic's going to slow it down. It'll just keep going. Just wanted to say that.
All right, thank you. I am trying to see. Hold on just a minute. I see an attendee's hand up, but I don't see who it was.
It was Nathan.
I thought so, but I don't see.
It's
I don't-
Fiona Choates. Fiona Choates.
There's Eddie through the interpreter who wants to say something too.
Go ahead, Ed.
Fiona Choates
Okay.
is before.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Oh, okay. Yes. Hi, this is Eddie again through the interpreter. And last Sunday and Wednesday, I had joined the webinar, and some of the people who were there were sending well wishes and prayers for Ash. And I did try raising my hand a few times, but at that point they weren't able to hear the interpreter for some reason. And I did want to be included in that conversation. And I am Eddie, and I am deafblind. And if you could pass on my well wishes to Ash, I would, and his family, I would appreciate that, and that I'm praying for him and for his family. I would like to be able to pass on those well wishes, and just to let him know that I do appreciate him so much.
Eddie, you can consider that passed. All righty.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, and have a good
Um,
night.
You too. Okay, well, I'm looking for that other one. Carlos, go ahead real quick.
I think it's Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, there you are. Go ahead.
Hi, hello, hi everyone.
Hi,
Thank
how are you?
The presentation was real awesome. It's an holistic approach in the entire presentation. I'm looking forward to get a copy of it.
Just email Marty at onpassionation@gmail.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Good
and
deal.
I've got two gentlemen here, Joe on my right and Thomas on my left. They are
All right.
founders and they're very excited. They want to wish Hess and the family well wishes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for joining us tonight, you guys. We appreciate it.
Okay, I'm Dr.Bill. I'm from Papua New Guinea. So we three of us, we are the co-founders in Papua New Guinea. We are very, we appreciate and then we are very happy to watching the webinar right now here in Papua New Guinea. And then we appreciate and wish you all and wish you all and
okay, Joe.
Hi, I am Tos. I want to say thank you to Nathan for inviting me, and I really enjoy the webinar today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us from Papua New Guinea. We really appreciate you being here and hope to see you again next Friday.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have two more hands up and then we're gonna have to end it. We'll end it with Marcin right after Carlos. Carlos, go ahead.
Dr. Bill Williams, that was a great inspirational that you showed to us. I really appreciate all the new stuff that you come out with all the time. I just wanted to give you a hands up and a great presentation. That was wonderful. It inspired a lot of people. I've been getting texts from the people that I invited. They're really inspired by you. I just wanted to talk for them and let you know, and all the leaders here that have came out. Thank you for all you do, and rock on Hollywood Squares. We're all going to do this to be here together. So thank you very much, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. We see you on a lot of webinars. You're an up and coming leader. Glad to see you're here.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay, we'll end it with one more from Marcin. Marcin.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning for those that are getting up now. And that was a great presentation, Dr. Bill. Oh, wow. I see now why I cannot miss any webinar, because each time you go to webinar, you always have the best. I love webinar because for me, it's like a therapy. So this was the best piece that I've done today. So thank you so much for that. Coming to ONPASSIVE, I believe that ONPASSIVE was made for people like us. I will never say thank you so much for Mr. Ash Mufera, somebody like me that doesn't know anything about digital. And now I can be able to talk to people and even tell them about some products. It means a lot. I mean, I'm dreaming today, telling people what I'm going to do for them, not asking them to do for me. That means a lot. I'm not asking what I'm going to do for me. I'm asking what am I going to do for everybody that I left behind, for those that I always feel that I'm better than them. So Mr. Ash Mufara, give me that opportunity. It's so great to be able to help somebody. It's so great to be able to get up in the morning and realize that your today is going to be better than your tomorrow. It's so great to be part of this great company. I mean, I always thank the day that I spend my best $97 plus $5 credit fee. That's the best $102 I've never get anywhere in my life with. I'm really happy. Thanks to all the leadership council. Thank you so much for everything that you guys have been doing out there. For people like us that we really don't know anything, because of you guys, we now understand the real opportunity, the reason why we are in, because the fact is not just to introduce you at $97. It's to come to webinar and know exactly why you are in this family. The reason why you have to pay that $97 is more important than to pay the $97. We have love, we have compassion, we have everything that we have never want to do. How much are you going to pay a therapy for $97 for those that they understand? What are you going to do if you don't have a family like this one? So Maddie, Chris, Peter, I mean, I can call it Ron, Lynn, everybody that put this together. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you. Cedric Mabo, thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, folks, we're 10 minutes in overtime. So at this time, I would like to thank everyone. I really want to thank myself, and Lynn would love to thank Dr. Bill Williams. You were, again, amazing, awesome presentation. And we look forward to having you on again, if you would. Go ahead. Any closing statement? Any closing statement, Dr. Bill?
Thank you, Ron, Lynn, all the folks who spoke, and I appreciate all the kind words. You know, you guys are much kinder to me than the dentists I teach. I lectured all over the world, and some of the audiences are tough. You guys are the best audience.
Thank you.
I really take to heart everything you said, and we'll try to do better next time.
I don't know if you could do better.
Next time I'm going to bring a sandwich with, pickles on it next time.
There you go. There you go. Bring enough for everybody.
Bring a Dagwood sandwich.
Again, we'd like to thank Mr. Marty DeGarmo for everything he does for us. Chris Johnson, everything you do, we appreciate it. Kevin Rutledge is back there in the scene somewhere helping tonight. Thank you very much. And we could go on, and Peter, thank you. We could go on and on and on with telling everybody we need to praise. I think there's 808,000 founders that we need to praise. So if you would keep Mr. Ash McFarland and his family in your prayers, okay? We want to wish everyone on this webinar a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Good night. Get well, Ash.
Okay, good night.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.